4-15 matchups or 4-13 matchups because the top seed is not an overwhelming favorite in a lot of these matchups, even though they are taking on mid-majors.
Matthew Embury, we appreciate you joining us and wearing dual and triple hats for us today. Matthew, where can people find your work and masterpieces, sir?
MATTEMBURY on Twitter. And for Notre Dame fans, although I'd say right now your chances of making the NCAA tournament are probably gone for men's basketball, and they may be gone for hockey if they don't beat Michigan State this afternoon. That game will be on our sister station, Z94.3 at 6 o'clock. And, of course, Notre Dame basketball at Wake Forest. Our pregame coverage with Jack Nolan, Zach Hillisland gets underway at 3:40 on 96.1 WSBT. And if you are outside the area, you can catch the game free of charge at UND.com.
Matthew, we appreciate you joining us. Make sure you have yourself a good weekend. We'll catch up with you soon.
Anytime, Tom, and we'll talk to you next week. It's hard to believe.
Yes,
2
sir.
more weeks.
2 more weeks, sir. 2 more weeks. All right, buddy. We'll talk with you soon. Matthew Embury, WSBT up in South Bend, our official IndyCar contributor, joins us, breaking down some funny season in IndyCar and, of course, in NASCAR. And we're beginning our conversation across the board in the NCAA March Madness. Up next, Ed Kratz will be joining us. He spent the week here in Indianapolis. Unfortunately, I was unable to connect with him, but he was here at the Combine. We're going to get our official NFL Combine breakdown next, right here on the Balance Radio Network.
Making it to second base, but saying you went all the way Monday afternoon at practice. Sister's got a boyfriend, Daddy doesn't lie. Now he's sitting out back 30-30 in his lap in the blue bug dapper light. We were Jesus to save me, blue jean baby, born in the USA. Trailer park truck stop, fade a little map, Dodge New York to LA. We were teenage dreaming, front seat leaning, baby come give me a kiss. Put me on the cover of the Rolling Stone, uptown, down home, American kid. Growing up in little pink houses, making out on living room couches, blowing that smoke on Saturday night, a little messed up, but
the Air National Guard is a reserve component of the United States Air Force and serves alongside active-duty Air Force members in times of a national crisis. In addition, the Air Guard serves the state and local community in a wide range of capacities. The reason people join the Air Guard is as diverse as our members and includes such reasons as a deep desire to serve their country, money for college, travel, new job skills, and the pride that goes along with belonging to the greatest military organization in the world. I joined because I felt a calling to serve my country, but I didn't want to be far away from my family, so the Indiana Air National Guard was a perfect fit for me. With over 95 different career opportunities to choose from and 100% paid college tuition to any state-funded college, why not give us a call? Call 1-800-841-3103 or visit online at goang.com to find out more. Again, that's 1-800-841-3103. The Air National Guard, guarding America, defending freedom.
I can't believe it. I've been playing 4-on-4 with a barbershop quartet.
Pass the ball, pass the rock. We're open, just pass the ball.
Nah, I can't believe how easy it was to save hundreds of dollars on my car insurance with Geico. Yeah.
Believe it, Geico could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Morning face. You get it when you don't sleep well. This is what happened to Linda.
Morning, guys.
Good morning. Ah, what is that thing?
It's me, Linda.
Oh my God, it talks! Run!
No, it's me, Linda from HR.
It looks hungry! Save the children! Save them! Stay back! I've got mace!
Ow, that went in my eyes.
Quit moving!
It's called beauty sleep for a reason. And there's never been a better time to get some.
Get 20% off IKEA Sultan mattresses. IKEA, love your home.
You know, back then I was a little baby. Sweet and greasy. Gotta love bread.
I know. You know, there's sandwich bread over there next to the coffee.
I eat bread in the bathtub.
Okay, that's gross to me.
There's a lot I've been feeling lately. Why is there a hearse at my house?
Night screams, the new fun of the kids.
Billy! My Billy! Billy, where are you?
All right, welcome back to The Balance. 1 hour in the books. Thanks, Mo, for the BS Sports Show, who normally ends the show, but started the show with us today because it's Leap Day. And so, and actually, I found this out on the air earlier. You probably heard if you were listening. Mo actually got married yesterday. I told him we could have waited till today. He could have forgotten his anniversary 3 years out of 4 years. But anyway, joining us on this crazy Leap Day is Ed Kratz, beat writer for the Philadelphia Eagles, SI.com, and our official NFL contributor. Been here in town in Indianapolis all week, and I'm sorry we weren't able to connect. I deeply regret that. I will make it up to you, Ed. But welcome aboard for some NFL Combine recap. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Tom. It was nice to visit Indianapolis, even though I don't think I saw the sun during the days I was there. But
we have
had some snow.
We have a very weird place here in India. We always say in Indiana, if you don't like the weather, stick around. It's going to change real quickly. And you saw that happen from rain to snow. We got sunshine today, but it's cold. But tomorrow it's going to be in the 60s. Okay? So
okay.
You pretty much get all four seasons all in a month here in Indiana. So I'm going to just kind of let you just kind of recap. We posted a lot of stuff. I tried to post as much stuff as I saw come across. You did a great job of covering the NFL Combine. We'll get into a lot of the more specific stuff, but just go ahead and give us an overview, a high-level overview, recap of the week, what you saw, what were the highs, the lows. Just kind of walk us through the week at the NFL Combine.
Well, let's see. I mean, I think it has to start with the receiver class. This is a fantastic class for wide receivers, and I know, I know the Colts could certainly use a wide receiver, and there's a lot of different mock drafts that show the Colts taking anywhere from a quarterback to a receiver to even a defensive player. So this is the class to grab a wide receiver in. There's no doubt about it, and that was the most exciting day for me was Tuesday when they paraded all these wide receivers out into the Indiana Convention Center is where they did a lot of the testing and the interviewing. Then it switched over to the to the primetime drills, which are still going on. I think tonight is the linebackers. This afternoon, Saturday afternoon, will be the defensive linemen. So it switches over to Lucas Oil Stadium for those drills. But until you hear about how great this receiver class is, and what kind of struck me Tuesday was the fact that when you see some of these names that they just kept bringing out, and they bring out 16 players in half-hour increments each time. So you have 8 podiums and then 8 tables where you can ask any question you want of one of those players, and they're usually out there for about 20 minutes. And, you start rattling off the names that start coming out, Jerry Jeudy and Henry Ruggs and C.D. Lamb. I mean, they're the 3 top ones. And there's so many others, Justin Jefferson, but they start coming out in wave after wave of them. And then you realize, this is a very special class with all these big names. So that's kind of the high for me, was just kind of being among that wide receiver group and just seeing the talent firsthand. It's one thing to hear about it. It's another thing to see it. And then, I don't think there were too many lows as far as covering. I mean, it's pretty exciting to be there, to be honest with you. I enjoyed doing it. I really like being around the offensive line group too. I like seeing those big guys, and it's really amazing how well spoken these guys are. I know they train and they prep for this, for these interviews and for all the questions and whatnot. And I spent some time talking to this Prince Tega Wanaghohu. I'm not sure I'm saying that correctly, but he's a big left tackle from Auburn. Mm-hmm. He can play right tackle also. He's about 6'7", 305, and he's an actual prince. I mean, he came over from Nigeria.
Oh, really? He's a real
grandfather.
Prince.
Yeah. He's an honestly God Nigerian prince. His grandfather was the king of a village And he said, it's funny, every time I tell that story, people think of Coming to America. Remember that movie?
That's exactly where my mind was going, too.
That's what he says, because everybody thinks it's this Coming to America story and they have all these jewels and riches back home. He goes, but really it's not like that at all. It's a very small village that his grandfather was the king of, and he said it's probably the equivalent to being a mayor of a city here in the United States. But, he came over, he thought he was going to be the next LeBron James. He came over for a basketball. That's how he was kind of spotted. He was about a 7-hour drive from his village in Nigeria, going to a basketball camp, and there were a couple scouts there. They took his contact info, and he was about 6'5", 240 at the time, and they took some tape, and an interested coach at a prep school down in Alabama reached out to him, and they brought him over. He came to America without his family or anybody to stay at a, it happened in 2014, so he was probably about 14 years old, maybe 15 years old, and that's pretty scary to do, to come over by yourself into a foreign land. But he's acclimated well, and now he's put himself in position where, I think he could go on the second day of the draft, either in the second or third round. I mean, he's got that kind of ability. And, of course, he's got a high ceiling, too, and not having played the game. But he's got a great frame. He's got good footwork. He's overcoming a knee injury, so he didn't participate in any of the combine drills. So you may not have seen him on television if you watched the O-lineman last night on Friday night. But he's a guy that I really enjoyed getting to know. So, there's so many good stories. And when you get guys that are talking to you for, really 20 minutes or so, you can learn a lot about somebody. And that's just one story that I really enjoyed, getting to know. But it was a great experience. I really enjoyed it. Didn't leave the Indiana Convention Center very much. It's kind of everything's headquartered right there for the media.
All the more
so even though it was what's that?
I was just going to say, all the more reason for it to never go to L.A. All the more reason for it to stay right here in Indianapolis.
I know, but they moved the draft. The NFL has moved the draft, and look at how much success they've had with that. But as far as the fan experience for the combine, they don't really give the fans a whole lot. I don't think they let fans into Lucas Oil until
later in the day.
I think last night might have been the first. Yeah, it might have been the first time. But there's a lot of fans that do collect kind of behind the ropes that they set up, inside the convention center, as they can watch the players filter in and out, and they stand there looking for things to get autographed. But as far as actually letting anybody in to watch this stuff, it really doesn't happen. So I don't really see the value in why they'd want to move it anywhere. I mean, it's a great place to have it. It's a huge facility. I know that, Indianapolis had the Super Bowl there years ago, and I just think the way everything's set up there in Indy, it's just perfect to have the combine there. And like I said, if there's no fan experience really to be gained from this, then why bother moving it? With the draft, of course, it's very fan-friendly. You can come and watch all the rounds, and it's exciting for other fans in NFL cities to see that. But unless you're going to involve the fans, then I don't see any reason to move it out of Indianapolis.
And, that's exactly what we were talking about earlier with Mo. I know the NFL is trying to monetize this, and it's a way maybe for them to make some extra revenue. But at the end of the day, this is a business part of the business. It's job interviews, it's psychological interviews, it's medical stuff. It's let's interview who we want. And again, there's a reason there's not much fan involvement. So I just think the NFL, they saw this success with the draft day, which is great because that makes more sense. But I think maybe they think the next logical progression in monetizing our brand is let's do the same thing with the combine, because these people are jonesing for football. Football really never has a true off season. So yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I think not just because of the economic. I live here in Indianapolis, but not just because of the economic impact that the combine has on the city, but just because it's just a great place, like you said, all in one spot. Everything is there. There's not a lot to interact with the fans per se. So, it's a great spot to do that. We could get on that conversation all day long. But I know, and I hear your coughing, so I appreciate you sticking with us. You don't have the coronavirus or anything, do you?
No, you know what? I was just actually watching.
You're not in quarantine, are you?
No.
It's called us live from quarantine.
Comedian. No,
that's funny.
No, I was watching a comedian on Facebook. I was watching a comedian on Facebook with my wife, and it was hysterical. This comedian named Jeffrey Allen. I don't know if you've ever seen or heard of him. I think he's from Ohio, but he's just so I was doing a lot of laughing before I came on